Good morning. Well, it's wonderful to be here with the mayor and with the parents and teachers and supervisors at one of our foremost early childhood education centers. This place is a reminder of when childcare is done right, what it means for everyone, including for our whole community. So I am delighted to be here, partly to say thank you, and partly to say we are in this fight to make sure that at the federal level we recognize that childcare is infrastructure and that we make the investments we need to make so that all our children have opportunities like these. Madam Mayor?
Thank you, Senator, for your leadership, and I just want to thank all the staff and the families in the community here. We had the chance to hear from so many in our community, moms and teachers who are working as hard as humanly possible, who are doing everything right to try just to eke out a way to make those ends meet. Childcare is a critical piece of that, and we heard so many stories of how Head Start is making that a little bit more possible, but people are bending over backwards to try to survive and afford housing and to find a job and to get to where they need to go. And so I'm very grateful for the momentum here, and we're going to do everything we can across all levels of government to truly invest in and support childcare.
Yep, good. Anybody have questions? Can we start with childcare? If anybody has any childcare questions. You're competing. You got to speak up.
What do you think are a couple of the largest factors to get these kids, which they so deserve, out of the starting block even better?
So we need a partnership at the local, state, and federal level. We are so lucky here in Boston to have Mayor Wu, who works so hard on this, and we are lucky to have a state legislature that is making these investments. I particularly want to commend Senate President Karen Spilka, who works so hard to make sure the resources are available. But state and local government can't do it by itself. We need to make a federal commitment so the resources are available so there is affordable, high-quality, safe child care for every one of our children who needs it, and so that child care workers are paid on a level that is consistent with the training and the responsibility they take on. We need to make this investment in our children because this is an investment in our future.
Mayor, would you mind saying that in Spanish?
Oh, wonderful.
I'll let Anya, okay. Hoy estamos en un centro de educación y cuidado infantil y educación temprano. Es la más importante inversión en nuestra comunidad y nuestra sociedad. En ese momento, durante y después de la pandemia, es necesario de crear la colaboración entre gobierno el local, estatal, federal, para crear y para proveer los recursos que nuestras familias necesitan.
Is there anything that you talked about in there that really stands out to you? Anything
Part of what stood out to me, not just this was a safe, welcoming, wonderful place for babies, but also for mamas. Mamas who have taken their time while their babies are here to learn and to grow. There were some who talked about how the staff here not only nurtured the little ones, but also nurtured the parents. So the parents learned and developed. And we also heard from parents who became parent teachers, and some who have stayed for a very long time. This has become their profession. So it is a reminder, we get things moving the right way. The good effects are felt in a lot of different directions. You want to add?
Sometimes when we look at numbers and budgets and talk about the billions of dollars that it will take, it seems staggering and that it's just going to take a while to get there. It's really important to remember that behind each and every one of those numbers is a beautiful, amazing little one who is raising their hands to learn and talk about the colors on their shirt or to play with their friends. It's a family who's doing everything possible to make it work for that little one, and we cannot wait to move at the speed of government, we have to move with the urgency of our families.
A little bit of an off-topic question for you, Senator. The president apparently has changed his policy on use of nuclear weapons.
Let me just see if there's anybody else who wants to. I promise I'll come back. Anybody else have a childcare question they want to ask?
Mucha traducción.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to remember the question. Okay. La pregunta estaba sobre un momento de la experiencia hoy, y para mí es en esta pregunta, esta cuestión del cuidado infantil y educación temprana, tenemos una gran lucha con la costa que es muy larga, y otra manera de programas y otros procesos, pero es necesario no solamente pensar con los programas y inversión, pero la situación de cada familia, cada niña que es en una situación con las hormigas, que cada familia en una situación con un gran necesita. Entonces tenemos que mover en el rato de la familia, con la urgencia de la comunidad, no la manera típica para el gobierno.
Good. Anyone else?
So Senator, according to reports, the president has been saying that the U.S. will only use nuclear weapons in direct deterrence for other nuclear weapons, but now I guess he's changing back to what the policy has been, which is a bit broader. Just something to get your take on that.
You know, this is a very difficult time where the president is trying to make clear that we support Ukraine, that we support the other nations of Europe as Russia has launched a war and is committing war crimes right out in public. He wants to push back hard, but he wants to make very clear that we are not trying to trigger a nuclear war. He wants to keep us safe. He wants to keep the people of Europe safe. He wants to keep people around the world safe. And so he is trying to keep this line where he's saying very clearly to the Russians, we're not trying to provoke a nuclear war here, but we are also not going to let you get away with bombing the Ukrainian people, with killing civilians, with killing children, and not have any consequences.
Is he threatening that?
I think he is. The principal thing that the president has done so far is that he has strengthened our alliance with the other nations of Europe and made it clear that we're going to continue to work closely with the European nations. And secondly, we are putting huge resources in, both billions of dollars into the defense, the military defense of Ukraine, but also into humanitarian relief. And then the third is the president has led in a counteroffensive against the Russian government on the economic front, so that we have historic economic sanctions against Russia and against the Russian oligarchs who support Putin. We are making Putin pay for this war. Our intent is to make him back up and get out of Ukraine and leave the Ukrainian people in peace.
Last question?
I understand there has been some progress in the North End dining situation.
We are preparing for a successful and vibrant and active spring and summer season all across the city. Citywide outdoor dining will begin April 1st. The rules and parameters are different for the North End because the impacts are very different in the North End. It is by far the densest concentration of restaurants and liquor licenses and foot traffic and all that comes with that anywhere across the state. And so the program is slightly different there, with a different starting point and ending point, as well as the need for resources to address unique impacts there. And applications are due in about a week and a half or so, April 10th, I believe. And restaurants who apply by that date will be eligible.
What do you think of the owners threatening to sue us in?
We are in our third and last year of the outdoor dining pilot. We've seen some incredible benefits from being able to support our small businesses, create the spaces for people to safely be together outside and build community. We need to have a program that works everywhere across the city, and we've heard loud and clear for the last 2 years, and these are the only 2 years that the North End has had outdoor dining across the neighborhood, that there are specific impacts here when you have by far the most restaurants per square mile, by far the most liquor licenses, and a significant expansion of that when there's public roadways involved, loss of parking, more seats, and more congestion. So we've worked really hard to come up with a program that is a way to make life possible for our residents while also supporting our businesses and helping them thrive.
Thank you all. Thank you.